A, B, C, C, D, E, F, E, H, I, J, K, L, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A, E, I, O, U. Ergudo sabe más que tú. Hi, guys. Just remembering some of my Spanish. Anyways, at least from elementary school and Spanish class in middle school. Anyways, to start this off, since this is all Spanish stuff, and this is take 4 because I believe I had swine cam on the last one I posted. If you watched it, I'm sorry, I apologize. Apparently Becca's swine cam took over and it was completely out of focus, and it was rather frustrating to watch back when I finally got around to doing it. Unfortunately, I had posted it before I had actually looked at it. So this is not necessarily a flip through. It might be a little bit more on the lines review, but not really because I haven't really played with it. Anyways, this is the Nementh Tarot by Juas, or JJ, I think I'm going to start calling her because I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it correct. Anyways, so I got this. This is a limited edition, and I got the signature on it, and it's a nice size deck. It's just a tuck box, but it's a pretty decent tuck box. I like it. The cardstock is really nice. It's very flexible. It's a larger size than the average tarot. This is probably an average tarot. Yeah, it's a bit larger. This one is, that one's closer. Look at that, it kind of reminds me of that one too. Anyways, a little bit taller. So it's a little bit different sized than the average tarot. Anyways, but yeah, the backs I was saying in the first video reminded me of Morgan Greer, but it kind of resembles that one also. Anyways, the Nementh Tarot is based in Spanish. It's the Marseille style of reading. I can't say it's a Marseille style deck because the Marseille, has its very distinct. Let's see, does this one have it? No, this is Wade Smith. The batons and the swords are all in distinct patterns and laid out a specific way, and same thing with cups and coins and all that. But anyways, it's supposed to be Red Marseille style, but it's also based in Galicia, Spain's legends, and it's a rabbit hole going down looking at those legends, and interpretations are a little bit challenging. Listening to other people tell the legends can be a little bit challenging. They're better storytellers than others, and I can't say I'm one either. So I'm just going to give you general gists of some of these legends. Anyways, the deck itself is, the suits are conchas, peos, espadas, and grials. So conchas are coins, but they're showing shells, which are these scallop type shells, and they're all over Galicia, Spain on the pathways, and it represents the Camino de Santiago, and it's the pathways of Santiago, and they all lead to this cathedral in Galicia. And there is a legend that goes along with that, where a monk living in a little hut was servicing the people, and they stopped coming to him and started making offerings at the cathedral because they didn't want to die and have their souls turn into animals, yada yada yada. And he complains to God, and God says to him, don't worry about it, they're all going to turn into animals anyways, and they'll all be coming to you. So so anyways, that's just a general gist of the story. Another legend is the what did they call him again? It's the Death card, and it's a beautiful, beautiful card. Santa Campañas. Campañas. They are like wandering souls, death spirits that are wandering around, and they're led by a human who is taken into their custody, so to speak, or brought in to guide them around. And you don't want to be caught in a vulnerable position that you could get sucked into being a wanderer with them. And the human leader that leads them also has the ability to give the job over to somebody else. I'm not sure how. Like I said, the stories are really hard to understand, or they were being told very, I don't know, not in the best manner for me to understand anyways. Oral, being passed down orally anyways. So it was interesting. I followed that one. And then JJ also posted something on Instagram yesterday about the rock formations, which had me baffled in this deck. And the rock formations have to do with, let me see if I can find it, the mantas, it starts with an M. Let me see if I can find it. Great. I'm not going to find it, am I? Let me see. It was on one of the queens, I thought. Maybe not a queen. Marinas. Oh man, I hate that when I forget things. Anyways, they're like siren type figures, but they exist in the sea and the land. Mora surte. So they can be serpents. They can come across as serpents, as sea creatures, as beautiful women with red hair is what it comes down to. And they appear on these rocks. And I believe the gist is that these rocks is where they exist. And that way they can disappear when they need to. They can become part of the rock formations. And there was something else about the rock formations existing until they dissolve into the earth, or something like that. Or maybe that was just them dissolving into the earth. Like I said, it's a little challenging to understand the stories, but most myths are that way. You kind of look at them and go, what? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so that was one of the myths, and there was another myth about the Knights Templar and the Pope investigating them. And so there was a father and son that were Templars, and he went to the priest and he got absolved, the father did, and he was going to pay the priest to absolve his son, but the priest thought they were too poor and shunned them and turned them away, and the father got mad and kills the priest. I didn't really understand where it went from there. I don't know if the story got cut off or what, but beyond that, I didn't get any more out of it. As for the turning into animal souls, I don't see that necessarily reflected in this, but there is one card that might, except for the boy's a lot younger than I would have expected, but it could be just a version of the priest leading a man and a child into, down one of the campañas or caminos. Anyways, since this is take 4, I'm hoping that we can not have swine cam, and this will focus in a lot better. I want to get it up closer. Let me see if I can bring the camera down closer to it, because I'm having so many issues. I can't get it to focus in down lower. For some reason, the adjustment thing on the camera is not working with me very well. I'm going to put this right here so I can turn it over that way. So anyways, let's go ahead and start with the walkthrough on this, or a general walkthrough. I feel more comfortable with the deck now, especially after doing all the research and watching JJ on Instagram, because she's posting things that are going to go into the book, and that's really helping understand a little bit more. So anyways, this is the Fool, and I love the artwork. The beautiful, beautiful watercolor work. Just stunning. You do get all the elements on this one, even though it's not blatant, because you've got the wind, the earth, the sea. You know, the only thing I don't see is fire in this. That's the only thing, unless you can construe some of those clouds as smoke. Anyways, and then we've got the High Priestess, and that's a beautiful, very different, different type Empress, and same thing with the High Priestess and Empress, both very, very different. Another thing that comes across in this whole Galicia, Spain thing is the fact that it is a Celtic region of Spain. It's where the Romans, I believe, brought a lot of the Celtic people to exist, and it's so a little possibility in there that kind of makes me think this is that there is a tiny little amount of Scottish-Irish blood in my veins. I mean, it's very minute. And I'm kind of wondering, because I'm mostly Spanish and Native American, I kind of wonder if that Celtic blood is actually coming from possibly this part of Spain, a little influence there. Who knows? Hard to tell. One thing I'm noticing, and it's not intentional. This is a bad cut. You can see where the borders are off on this. Some are worse than others. So something to think about if that bugs you or not. I don't think it's going to bother me. This one's probably the closest one I've seen. I might have to edge him just to disguise that a little bit more. We'll see. If I do, I'll do it in blue. Anyways, so there's the they're calling it the old lady, the vieja, instead of the empress. So that's kind of, well, actually, it is the empress, Imperatriz, but it's also called the vieja, the old lady. So that's interesting. And this is the emperor, Magno Clemente Maximo, which was probably the Roman ruler at the time of the Celtic influence. Here's another one that's really badly cut. Okay. That's too bad. I just noticed those. 4 takes, and I only just noticed how badly cut these are. Fre Seramente. This is the Papa, or the priest, the Hierophant. I keep wanting to read this and not the titles. This one would be the Lovers. There's that rock formation again. Makes me wonder, I can't tell up close. It doesn't look like she has serpent tail or anything, so I don't know if that's what that is or not. I'll have to wait and see. The Lovers appear several times in the deck. The Chariot. This would be Justice, I believe. The Hierophant, or not Hierophant. Why am I? It's just the word. It's drawing a blank in my head for some reason. The Hermit, not Hierophant. Hermit. Blah 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 blah. I'm just my brain just suddenly froze on me. The Wheel of Fortune, which I really, really love. I love the spinning wheel. I'm a spinner. I mean, it always, the word cottoning on, meaning feeding getting the fiber to blend together again when you have a break in it, and it's called cottoning on. I mean, there's all these little things that we use in our normal dialect that, in conversation in general, that actually reflect onto the spinning process, which is really interesting. But yeah, I just love the whole spinning idea of making something strong out of things that are not that are vulnerable, that break easily, and do not amount to much, and then they become this strong thread that makes so many different things in our lives. The strength, that's a beautiful image. Beautiful image. I'm not sure about the Pope, but it's a beautiful image. It kind of reminds me of Jonah and the whale. Or, yeah. And then we have the Hanged Man. I'm not sure I like this Hanged Man. It feels a little gruesome. I mean, not gross, but it feels a little gruesome. Maybe it's too, I don't know. I can't say it's real, but yeah, something about it I like the idea of hanging upside down better, the different perspective, but that could be a Waite-Smith thing. Anyways, and then there's death, which you have those Santo Campañas, which I think is just awesome. I absolutely love that. Temperance, this is the most beautiful card. I just absolutely love that card. Absolutely love it. El Diablo, Diano, Demo, the Devil, which is the horse, the red eyes, the Tower. You've got lightning in the background, but it's not really hitting there. It's like a storm coming almost. I don't know. That one's interesting. The Star, Australia. I don't know. It's got a baby on it. Babies always mean hope, and especially in the Spanish, especially if it's a newborn, a firstborn son. That's a biggie. Anyways, I don't know. The Moon. I love the Moon. The Moon's beautiful. The Sun. It's a beautiful sun card. I love the plinth on the tour. This one would be Judgment. I'd like to know the legend behind this, because you got the mer creature, which is probably still one of those moras, a version of them anyways. Yeah, it's Mora Axana, Asana, something like that. Anyways, and then we got Mundo Gallego. It's the world. It's beautiful. Kind of reminds me, that's one thing. It reminded me of the Tree of Life in the Slavic tradition or the Celtic tradition, the Germanic influence from the Vikings, the Tree of Life and the different worlds that exist. So that's kind of cool. That's what that reminds me of. And then that kind of connects back to that whole Celtic region of Spain, which is beautiful to me. I'm finding that just absolutely fascinating. Like I said, I've gone down this rabbit hole, and we'll see how far it takes me. I might get bored with it, but it depends on how many good stories I can find, and I can't wait to get the book. Anyway, so let's move on. This is Wands. I'm going to refer to them as Wands, the English names, just so it's easier. I think that's one of the reasons I don't use a lot of her decks, because of the language barrier. And it's not that I don't know them or understand them. It's just switching that gear in your brain kind of throws me off. Anyways, so we got Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands. Three of Wands is taking that step and making things happen, walking through that doorway and creating. And this looks a little bit different. It almost, I don't know. Maybe it is her walking through the doorway to enter into this marriage. But then, I don't know. Three of Wands, yeah. It definitely doesn't fall into Waite-Smith, that's for sure. Four of Wands, I'd like to know the legend again on that. It's got to do with the sirens and the silkies and that stuff, because the silkies is a Celtic thing. So that ought to be interesting to find out more about that. Five of Wands, the challenges. This one was an interesting legend. This is that serpent Mora thing that that she talked about yesterday, and it had to do with being offered all these riches and golds, and they would never choose her because they're obsessed with the gold and the riches that she offers instead. I don't know where that legend goes from there, but that was the gist on that one. And this is Seven of Wands, which is beautiful. It's like a celebration, an offering, a ritual. This one would be Eight of Wands, which this one, I'm not sure about this one. So we'll have to see on that one too. Nine of Wands. Is that standing on alert? It almost looks like the lynching mob from Frankenstein's monster. Ten of Wands. Interesting. And this would be Pages, Knights, Caballeros, Reina, Queen, Rey, the King. Okay, Conchas, which is the shells, the pathways. It's not really earth necessarily, it's the pathways. You can see on this stone, there is a Concha symbol on that stone, and that's what you see in Galicia, Spain. You see those Conchas on markers throughout the area. And all those paths lead to this cathedral. And I don't know if it's the cathedral in the legend or not, but it's very possible. I like this one a lot, the two little chickies. It's also kind of a don't count your chickens before they hatch. You got to juggle it and make a decision. Get all things into order, and this is that working together. There's a lot of wells in Galicia, and I haven't heard anything yet on the wells. A coin purse for 4 of coins. Five of coins. This is the one I was talking about where you got the monk, the boy, and but this is an older man. So I don't know. It could be just a pilgrim's thing, but they're also under those rocks again. So very interesting. I'd like to hear more. Here's another one of those red-headed creatures, I believe, but I'm not positive. We need to find out on the legends. That is for the 6 of coins. 7 of coins. This one's a little stark, and it kind of hurts the eye initially when you first see it, because it's got such a white background, and you've had such watery, warm, fluid backgrounds, and all of a sudden you got this stark white. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. This I want to learn more about, because that looks like a Christmas tree, but it also looks like the Mayday pole. So interesting. We'll see. 7 of conchas, 7 of coins. No, 8 of coins, right? Yeah, 8 of coins. 9 of coins. And 10 of coins. Very much that harvesting wealth and, what you've been able to acquire. So, messenger of coins. Knight of coins. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? That is just stunning. It's probably one of my favorite knight cards. And then here's that Mora, the serpent. The Queen of Earth. It is a queen card. I wasn't sure about that. Yeah, it is a court card. It's the Queen of Earth. So obviously, Mora seems to be more representative of the earth creatures and not the water creatures. So we'll have to find out if the mermaid type or the silky type are something else. We'll see. Anyways, actually that wasn't a silky. That was a mermaid. That wasn't even a silky. Interesting. interesting on that other card. So we'll have to see. King. This I love. This is beautiful. This one reminds me of Excalibur. And it is the swords. The Ace of Swords. The sword in the water. The Lady of the Lake type thing. Oh, I love that image. That is just beautiful. Two of Swords, which is that choosing pathways. This one, because the water flows this way, it makes me feel like she's leading to the sea, and this one's going into the land. So interesting. I like that one. That's beautiful. Three of Swords. You still got that heartache feeling to it. Four of Swords, taking a break. This one is hysterical, and I was so disappointed in the one I posted earlier. The focus was so bad, but you can see this poor dragon looks absolutely terrified and going like, what the hell? These guys are ready to attack, and he's just trying to get this guy back to shore is what I'm getting from it. It is really funny. It's a funny card. I love it. It's wonderful. Let's see. This is La Cantada de Mora, the home of, I would assume that's the home of the Mora. So that's interesting. She's sitting here combing her red hair underneath the stones. Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is, well, it used to be that almost getting there, but can't quite reach it. But she doesn't look like she's necessarily interested in reaching her home. But maybe it's that space in between. What's going to happen, if she doesn't get to it, type thing. Hold on, wait. Am I out of? No, this is Six of Swords. Six of Swords. Okay, that's her home. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's her safety zone. Okay, I was misreading that. 9. It's 6. Blah. Seven of Swords. And this would normally be that thief in the night thing. And this is interesting. It's like a warning call. I believe this is sirens. Sereas. So this is the siren. So that one was probably a siren. Seven of Swords. That's interesting. There's smoke in the background. I can't tell if that's a boat back there that's going down or if it's rocks. Interesting. That's cool. Eight of Swords. She's broken her pot. Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords. There's this interesting shadowy figure back here. I'm trying to figure out what it is. It almost looks like a man carrying a woman, but then again, it also could look like somebody sneaking off. That looks like a woman there and somebody carrying him. Maybe she was being saved. I don't know. We'll have to find out when the book comes out. This I love. Look at the strength in that woman. Maria Pita. The Messenger of Swords, or the Page of Swords. Caballeros de Swords. He almost looks like he has a chocolate chip cookie on his shoulder. Queen of Swords. King of Swords. This is a throwback, I think, to Wade Smith, or maybe it's a throwback to, well, it's Cancer, right? It's throwback to the Major Arcana somewhere there. So we got the King of Swords. It's interesting that this girl's behind him. Could be a mistress, could be a daughter. It's definitely not the queen. It could be a Silky. It could be a Mora. She's got kind of that reddish, strawberry red hair there. Strawberry gold or whatever. It could be a Mora. Who knows? Ace of Grails. Again, this kind of feels King Arthur-y, where you've got the the image of the Grail over the hut, over the church, come find me type, come hither type feel to it. Two of Grails. Not sure where this goes. It'll be interesting to find out in the book, but that is a beautiful, beautiful image. I love that. And here's that rock formation. Ritual das Tres Piedras. Tres Piedras. That's a place in New Mexico that I travel through sometimes to get to my property if the passes are really bad. That one's a lower pass that doesn't get so awful. So I need to find out what Tres Piedras is because I'd really like to know the background on that. I did find out that the other pass we go through is La Manga Pass, which I've always associated manga to Chinese or Japanese art, the anime stuff. But there was a Native American chief, Manga, who was known for his height and unusual height, very tall man who was massacred up in these areas in the Apache region, which was really interesting. And so I'm assuming that pass is named after Chief Manga. Anyways, off the track there. So this is Three of Grails, three of Cups. Three of Cups is that flow in the traditional Waite Smith. It's that flowing back of the waters. Again, you've got that structure. And now that I know more about the structure, it makes me think a little bit more. Some of it looks kind of man-made, some of it doesn't. These things have been standing for 8,000 years all over Galicia. Interesting. It's the home of the Mora. So, and again, we got that structure, and you got the lovers again. Peña de Ecrebrillos, balance? I don't know. Four of Cups. Yeah, balance cups. Again, it's the lovers in there again, so I can't wait to see more what comes out in the book. This is Five of Grails. It almost looks like the rocks are frowning at her, like she's being shunned or pushed away from her home. Interesting. Or her home's behind her. I don't know. Six of Grails. Again, that it's falling into something that it's not. Six of Grails normally for us is that remember where we came from. And I guess that could be the path back to her home there, possibly. Again, we have the red-headed Moras. Peña Moleja. Seven of Grails, which is those choices. Again, we have those choices of riches. Will they choose her? Will they choose the riches? And you always choose the riches over her. Flora de Agua, a Flora da Agua. So this is the flowers of water. Eight of Grails. Eight of Grails is using that walking away, but they're giving offerings. So again, that probably reads more into the Marseille meanings. Nine of Grails, which is this doorway. I love that. That is really cool. I always love doorways. That is neat. This one, 10 of Grails, is just beautiful. Look at that ocean at the night. The sun's going down. You just barely get a little bit of aura of the sun. Everything's kind of shadowy, but yet still visible. And the light in the sky, there's even a little meteor or comet running through there. That's pretty cool. This one I have no clue on. This is the Page of Cups. And you've got this priest passed out on the ground. There's blood on the cup dripping off. It could be wine, but it looks like blood to me. But yet you've got this window out, seeing out into the distance. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting to find out what that is. And when we got Night, the Caballero, he's watching in the winter. The Reina, she looks pretty miserable. It sounds like this whole palace, this whole group of people are really in their woes. So I find that interesting. in this deck. And this guy, he almost looks senile, like he's hoping for better days, but yet he's almost living in a fantasy. You almost feel like he's like it's a senile old man just sitting by the window looking out. Anyways, all right. So that is the Nementh Tarot by Juas or JJ. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I don't remember seeing this card in the deck. Did I see this card in the deck? I don't think I saw that in the deck. Did I? We had the old woman by the water. I don't remember seeing that one, but that's a beautiful image too. It might be one that I just kind of passed over, did general gists of and moved on. 'Cause yeah, I don't remember seeing that. Interesting. I'll have to pay more attention when I'm working with this later and see if that one actually does come up, because I'd like to know what it is, which card it is. I wish those were trimmed better. Now that I've noticed it, it's a little disappointing that they were trimmed so badly. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm kind of thinking it's not one that made it into the deck, but it's a beautiful image. Her washing by the stream. I'm not seeing it. I'm looking for those trees in the background. Up in that corner is what I'm trying to zero in on. And I'm not zeroing in on it. So I'm not sure it's in the deck. I don't remember seeing that. Interesting that that's not in the deck. Maybe we'll find out more about that once the book's out also. Anyways, so that is the Nementh Tarot, and I thank you for watching. I hope this is so much better than the last round that I tried, and if you like it, give me a thumbs up, and I guess we'll see you on the tube. Thank you.